The difference between an average edit and a professional one is transitions. Most people think transitions are just flashy, pre-made effects you drag and drop, but that's not what actually makes an edit feel smooth, cinematic, or powerful. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, the way you connect scenes is what keeps people watching. If the rhythm is right, you can create a masterpiece. Today, I'll show you manual transitions you can build yourself in CapCut. And once you understand them, your edits will instantly level up. But first, let me tell you a story. In the world we live in, there are things that can truly amaze us. One night, you decide to go to a magic show that's been advertised all over the city. The magician is known for tricks that nobody can figure out. But that night, while you're enjoying the show, something strange happens. You saw the magician's transition tricks. You get excited. You feel proud for discovering the secret. You go home, replay the tricks in your mind, and tell all your friends about it. But what you actually did was kill the magic. A month later, the magician returns to the city. But this time, you don't buy a ticket. And because you told your friends, and they told others, no one shows up. The show that once felt like a miracle now feels like a simple trick that everyone understands. And after that, the magician never comes back. One night, you fall asleep, and when you open your eyes the next day, you're back in time. You're confused. Maybe this is your second chance. This time, you choose a different path. You go to the magic show again. You watch every trick. You see everything you saw before. But this time, you stay quiet. At the end of the show, you decide to go backstage and say hi to the magician. You already know his tricks, but now you understand something deeper. Some things are not meant to be explained. You wait in the room until he walks in. And then, as you look into his eyes, you realize you were the magician all along. The magician's greatest trick was never the illusion itself, but knowing when to hide it. And maybe that's what editing really is. Not showing the transition, but hiding it so well that people only feel the emotion. Because once people start noticing the cut, the magic is already gone. And don't forget that, in the end, we are both the magician and the audience. One of the best examples of smooth transitions can be found in MagnatesMedia videos, like this famous transition where a shoe comes up from the bottom of the screen while the background scene blurs and moves into the next shot. I've actually used this transition in a couple of my own videos before, even though I created it in After Effects using 3D rotations, and which can be pretty time-consuming. The transition itself follows a simple structure, and once you understand that structure, you can recreate a simpler version of it in CapCut. So, what does this transition actually do? When an object enters from the bottom of the screen, it naturally diverts the viewer's attention toward it. Because of that, the jump between scenes feels much smoother and less noticeable. To create this effect, we need an object and a blur effect for the background transition. Here I have two static images that I'm going to use as two different scenes. I drop the first image into the timeline, shorten it to around 4 to 5 seconds, and let's give it a slow zoom in by creating keyframes at the beginning and end of the image to make it more dynamic. Now let's drop the second image into the timeline. First, select them both and move them to the upper line. Let's zoom into the second picture first to around 168%. Now duplicate the second image and put it above that scene. I'm hiding the first line so I can see what I'm doing in the next step. Now select the duplicated image and go to the mask section, then choose the pen tool. I'm going to mask the man's picture to use it as an object coming from the bottom of the screen. Okay, now let's create position and rotation keyframes. Let's extend the image back to the beginning, so the transition will be in the middle of both images. Now, by moving the image down out of the bottom of the screen and giving it some rotation, we create another keyframe. Right-click and choose Variable Speed Animation. Click on the Y-axis and select both keyframes. Then from the Curves menu, you can either choose Circular Ease or Cubic Ease. Click on the rotation graph and choose the same curve for the rotation as well. Now let's close the keyframe animations. Okay, here's the tricky part. I can't just use a normal blur transition between these two scenes because it wouldn't be as smooth as I want. So I need to place the first scene above the second image and below the moving object. Now let's extend it a bit. Right where the second scene begins, I'm going to create an opacity keyframe on the first scene. Then, a couple of frames later, I'll bring the opacity down to 0, so it's like the first scene blends into the second scene. Okay, good. But let's extend the line a bit to where the last object keyframe is, so I can use it as the ending point for my blur effect. You can use a marker as well. Go to Effects and search for Blur, then drop it above the first scene and below the moving object like this. The blur should start earlier and end after the scene changes. Now, at the exact point where the second scene starts, I'm going to add a keyframe to the blur and maximize it. Then go to the beginning of the blur effect and set it to minimum, and go to the end of the effect and set it to minimum as well. So it's like the blur slowly appears, reaches the maximum, and then slowly disappears. Okay, let's add even more dynamic movement to the scene. First, trim the object layer right where the second keyframe ends. Now, select the second scene layer where you are and add a scale keyframe. Then go to the beginning of the scene and scale it up just a little bit. After that, go to the 9-second mark, add another keyframe, and scale it down significantly. Right-click on the layer and choose Speed Graph. Select only the last two keyframes, and from the Curves menu, choose Cubic Ease. It's good, but it feels like there's a little pause around the second keyframe, so grab the Bezier handle and slowly pull it down until the movement flows smoothly. Okay, let's preview the video. It looks good, but let's adjust the blur and the object keyframe positions so the object enters a bit earlier. I think that's enough. Now select all the layers and create a compound clip. And we're done. This is one example of smooth manual transitions that can make a video feel way more professional. But if you really want to save time, you can find transitions in AutoAE that can be created within seconds. It has over 1,000 templates and a huge collection of video transitions for almost any niche you want. All you have to do is choose a template, place your scenes into it, and let it generate the transition for you. Then you can simply download the final video. And if you're new to my channel, you can also check out some of my other videos.